Thanks for joining, everyone. It is gonna be a scouts and siege kind of day here. So we are going to first learn scouts opening, which is going to build off of the foundation that we worked on previously. So what that foundation is make sure you're walling before feudal age. The walls up before feudal, it's going to be 6 to sheep, 4 to wood. Wall before feudal age, get your walls down. And in this, we're going to be playing scouts. So previously we worked on 1 range and 2 range archers, as well as just the foundational, just defensive skirmishers opening with walls. Now we're going to use those walls, but we're going to make scouts. And this build order is a lot simpler in terms of the eco management. So the eco management, it's just going to be adding farms, adding houses, adding scouts. Super simple. Whereas, for example, with archers, we had to go to gold at some point. We had to add the blacksmith, get fletching. Like, it's a little more involved with the build order side. But then the archer, it's a lot easier to just let your archers fight stuff. And they'll probably do okay. You know, you put your archers on a hill, they're going to be good, whatever. With scouts, you always have to be just jumping to them, avoiding spearmen, sometimes taking a fight against the spearmen, microing against villagers. Like, it's a lot more involved for how to micro the scouts. But luckily, the eco management is much easier for this. So every 60 wood, you add a farm. Every time you're needing a house, you add a house. Super simple. So that's what we want to work on. So for those players who like to micro their units, this one's for you. So, and then after the scouts build, what we're going to be working on is siege pushing. So maybe you've gained some advantages using your archers from last time or the scouts this time, and you want to follow it up with some aggression. Or maybe you've taken damage in feudal age, and it's like, okay, adding TCs now, probably not going to allow me to win because the opponent's already booming. I need to kill my opponent. So that's when you go for the siege push, and we'll be working on or learning how to do that as well. After we watch the part 3 video on YouTube, I will demonstrate the builds, or it's kind of one feudal age build and then one castle age build, so I'll probably just do it in one. I'll do scouts in the feudal age, and then I'll follow it up with the siege push, and we'll go from there. First, what we want to do is get into the build first in single player. There we go. Let's do it. We are going to play, how about Berbers? So we're going to go for walls first. So the Dark Age, this is what we worked on in the first session. The first video, I think we did a little bit of it last time as well. But just as a reminder, this is your foundation that you need to be able to do to just not die early. Like, if you die to men-at-arms, you die to Drush, do this, you're not going to die. You're going to have your walls. Your opponent's just going to be hitting walls. It's going to be fine. Now, this is a pretty open map, it looks like. The wood lines are fairly far away. But first, we're going to scout a little bit. I'm not going to be pushing any deer here either. The start is to go 6 on sheep and then 4 on wood. And that'll give us everything that we need to get our walls up. We're going to go up on a 20 villager uptime as well. So it's not super fast. As I said, it is more beginnerish. Not necessarily. I mean, it's still going to be good. A well-executed slow build is better than a poorly executed fast build. So, yep. So this villager needs to go to wood. If you don't know exactly where you want to place your wood line, you can get them to chop a straggler just for a little while. Well, so I think I'm going to go there, but I wasn't 100% sure. So yeah, these 2 vills can go here. I think that'll be my wood line. We want to have it in the back, right? So don't do this against Mongols. I mean, you can. Honestly, if he's gonna go for scouts as Mongols, you can just get your walls up and you're fine, right? Yep. So if you didn't know, multiple villagers building the same building decreases efficiency. Any villagers after the first villager only add like 1/3 of a villager worth to it. So yeah. Oh, that would have been a juicy spot right in there to put it. But anyways, It's a little bit more exposed on there. This is a bit easier to wall if I go like this. So it's not a big deal. So we're going to want to bring in the boar here. Looks like, well, with the Berber's faster moving villager, I think I can get it in on time. Here, we'll even auto scout with this guy because I think we've scouted everything. All right, it's slightly late, but it's all good. We just take it there. No problem. So we're gonna need houses. So we're gonna work towards our walls here, right? We're gonna wall to there. We're gonna wall to the edge here. Maybe we wall along this hill though. It's gonna have a little bit more defensive capabilities. So once this is at around 180, we want to be sending a villager for sure. So actually this next villager that pops out can do it. That was at 170. With Berber villas, they're a little bit faster. Should be good. So we'll just get that in. And we can start walling pretty soon now. Pretty much, I'm going to get a mill here. I'm gonna put it straight up against it. It's fine. Just kill this. Oh, it's all good. You want to minimize walk time. So I could have put these villas on here to take it faster, but you just want to minimize walk time. So we want to be walling. We really want to be walled before we're up. So we're gonna go like that. I put it there because then it's on the high ground here. It's gonna be a little bit more defensive. There we go. We'll use one of these villas to build this. Here, we'll go for a house here, and we'll go like that. That'll give me lots of time. So remember, it's 20 villas, so we'll go 3 villas here, and then loom, and then we should be able to go up. There we go. So the front, this is kind of hard to wall up here, but remember, scouts, you don't need to have gold secured right away. So we can keep this gold out here, and it's fine. This is the kind of map where you'd want to go skirmishers. So what we can do is we can get our walls sort of like this for now. So villagers that can't really work, they can just go somewhere else. We want to have 3 to 5. Oh, whoops. We want to have 3 to 5 on berries. So if we've got 5 on berries here, or 4 on berries, 4 on berries is fine. It's no problem. So the advantage of this build is that it's pretty easy. Like, I haven't really been doing too many efficiency things. We do need to force drop like right at the end, but here we go. Yeah, like you can pretty easily get that going. The key is to be walled before you're up. So we don't really need to be walled now, but we would like to be walled before we're up. On the way up, you want to rebalance your economy. I sort of did it before I clicked up, which is why it was kind of close on the wood, or close on the food. If you keep all of your villagers on food until you have food, then you're not going to be as close on the food count there. But I almost didn't have enough food there because I rebalanced to wood a little bit earlier. Generally, if you rebalance to wood as you click up, then it's going to be a little bit better because then you guarantee that you have enough. So we want to have a barracks coming up. We wanted it started at 60%. So if you start it a little bit after, you need to send a second villager out there. And once you're done taking all of your sheep and stuff, you just go there. It looks like I'll have enough wood for the stable. If you see that you're gonna over chop like this, just build some walls through the corners, and you can just do that. It's really nice. All right. So what we're gonna do here, there's gonna be a few ways you can play this. So we're gonna make a save state here. This will be Dark Age to Scouts. We'll resume from this twice. There's gonna be a few ways. So first, we're going to go with just making a few scouts and then getting to Castle Age fast for knights. Second, we'll do lots of scouts, getting to Castle Age later, but with map control. And we might even do one for skirmishers as well. 2 seconds idle. Did I idle? Oh, I did idle for 2 seconds. Ah, whatever. You know, it's you want to reduce idle time, but you know, sometimes it just happens. I'm trying to think of intelligent things to say while executing. It's hard. Okay, next up, every 60 wood, you add a farm. Every 60 wood, you add a farm. That is all we're doing here. We're making scouts, and every 60 wood, we add a farm. That'll allow us to get more scouts out. So if you go 5 on berries, you're going to have a little bit more food for scouts. Okay, let's try not to lose this. Oh, he's going double range. Well, ideally, like if I'm seeing ranges, I would be going for a archery range myself here normally. So that's probably what I'll do. I was only able to get 2 scouts out here. So that's because I probably could have gone with 5 on berries. Would have been a little bit better. But here we go. The thing is that we're completely safe. So with 2 scouts, you can actually do a lot. And, I mean, on high level, we usually push a lot of deer, too. Was I missing sheep? I don't think I was missing sheep. I'm not sure. But, yeah. Basically, the fundamentals are here. You don't really need any more than 2 scouts if you're just going to harass. But since he is 2 range, we're going to want to make our own range. So remember, you just hit. If it's 1 vil, you can take him down. We don't want to commit too hard, but, you know, take him down like that. As soon as we have 175 wood, we're going to get the range, and we're going to work towards a wall here. This hill's a little ugly, but it's fine. Oh, he's got his army. We'll pick off her because she's weak. This is where it gets a little bit trickier, because now we need to micro these while adding farms. So he's got his army here. I don't really want to mess with that. But I know his army's here, which means his army's not at my base, which means I can safely go to wood. Or gold, I mean. So we can get this grouped up. And see how I'm constantly jumping to my army. Don't want to go in there. You want to be constantly jumping. So you know, you go back. He's got his scouts, so we'll run to the hill. We're just gonna make some stuff here. Ooh. That's fine. I mean, 2v1, I'll just take that, right? Weird micro by the opponent, not really shooting, but it's all good. And so his army's here, but I know I need skirmishers to not die, right? And also, since he's got more than me, I probably want to get my walls up too, right? So we can get the scouts together here. And you want to be sort of on gold around now. We might have a little bit of extra because we're making skirms, which is going to delay the uptime. But what you can do is you can get a market in. Now this is open here. So one problem is that we only have 1 wood line here. So there's a few ways of doing it. If your map allows for a second wood line, you really like to go for a second wood line with this. But since the map was kind of ugly in terms of getting a second wood line, we didn't go for one. Another thing that you can do in this situation is to have a tower. So say that I'm worried about his archers coming in, we can make a tower on the gold, and that'll protect this. Then we don't need to worry about walling this whole side super quickly as well. So yeah, don't be stingy with the towers. They're really good. Basically what I'm saving for here is a blacksmith and then going up. You can get a blacksmith or you can get a market. I mean, market is fine as well. You can get the blacksmith on the way up. But a lot of the times you're going to need a blacksmith for ranged upgrades. It's just that the AI is not very good, so he's not really attacking me. But yeah, we'll get the blacksmith here. And I didn't make a house again. But, see, if you miss your house, just get Town Watch. Wheelbarrow takes a little bit longer to come in, so Town Watch is kind of nice. And you'll see that I'm floating a lot of gold. Now, this is too much gold, because we don't need quite that much. What we do want to have here, let me take a pause. What we do want to have is a good eco balance on the way up. So remember, we're going to be going into nights, and we want to have 15 to 17 farms and 9 to 10 on gold. So we have 13 on gold. What we want to do, we're floating a lot of gold too. We're actually going to send 5 villagers away. We'll have 8 on gold because we're floating so much. We're going to send 5 villagers to build another lumber camp here. And that's going to help a lot. Yeah, so the way that you jump between things is control group them. So select your units, go control +1 or control +2. Look, it changes the numbers down here. That's what control group's on. And then you double tap the number. So I'm double tapping 1 here to select my scouts. And I like to put my skirms in control group 3. So I like melee in 1 and ranged in 3. You can customize it however you want, but that's how you jump between them. And I actually jump between my TC with a control group too. I like to control group my TC. I just find that it's nice. Like you can do the select TCs and then hop to it with spacebar. But I feel like just hopping to my TC with 6 feels a bit better, especially when I'm using control groups. Like I can hop between everything really easily just by using the top row. So that's kind of why I control group my TC. I think it's really good. Yeah. So as soon as the blacksmith's up, we're gonna go up here and we will get these. Ideally, these will be making farms, but well, they ran out of berries. I don't have the wood. I need to spend the wood on another lumber camp. So these villas are just gonna go down here for now. So we'll just go down here, force drop. There we go. We got a house, and we can go here. There we go. Remember, you don't have to force drop the gold miners. As long as they're building the lumber camp, they will drop the gold in the lumber, in the wood line. Watch. As soon as this goes up, watch my gold. It's gonna go up by a weird amount. See? Because they all dropped their gold into the stockpile if you build a facility like that. It's really good to know. This lumber camp is getting a little bit chopped out as well, so I think I'm gonna replace that. As long as I have enough for the second stable. That's what's key here. So we want to have the second stable sort of being produced here. There we go. Sounds good. And we want to have bloodlines on the way up. We would like to have gold mining upgrade as well. So we're going to just force drop a little bit. Let's get gold mining upgrade. And so since we don't really have map control here, we can't send a villager to make the siege push yet. We need to wait until we have map control. Because if you just send a villager by themselves, they could get picked off. That's not what I wanted. I actually want this. Just some houses. So we're going to get... We're going to go 2 stables. We could go 3, especially as Berbers. You could definitely do 3. Ideally, you're scouting where the opponent's army is. I'm not really sure what his army's doing, but anyways. It's all good. And see, I don't have enough farms. I only have 13 farms. We wanted to have 15 farms on the way up. So that's a bit of a mistake. You can see how we don't have enough food. You really want to have a little bit more. So in this situation, we want to prioritize getting our knights out over anything else. We just get our knights out. We'll make farms, but getting the knights out is the key, because that'll allow us to take map control. So with these first 2 knights, we can send everything here too. I just use the select all military hotkey just to get everything together. It's really useful. Obviously, you don't want to use it all the time, but if you have a bunch of random units everywhere, you want to, if you use it, it's not bad. So we escort these. You can use the scouts to sort of see if the opponent has military up front. It's pretty useful. We can go in, maybe we make the siege workshop here, get everything here, and it's looking pretty good. These extra vills can just make farms. Generally, you want to have stragglers to get them working on something. So his army is here. So, like, a good player would go for the vills, but unfortunately, Extreme AI is not a good player. So he's not going to do anything. But as long as your 2 stables are always working, that's really what you want to be doing here. And now we want to get behind those behind those units on the hill here or whatever. Behind them, maybe pick off the this thing here. This villager can just build houses. And there we go. So if he's just randomly making a TC there, we just go for that. And yeah, it's just basic macro stuff. So when you're siege pushing, you do want to prioritize making mangonels for siege. So we want to not over make farms now. We want to just keep an eye on the mangonel queues. If it's getting close to completion, then you want to be making another mangonel. So see how it's like halfway? Okay, maybe I'll save my res here for another one. It's almost there. Instead of reseeding these farms, I'll just make another mangonel in the queue. This guy should be repairing this mangonel as well. You don't really want to dive the TC unless you have +2 armor as well. So you see, I'm just building up units, building up mangonels. Here we go. 1 pikeman is no problem. We just take that out. There we go. And you can push the TC, you can push whatever. Like, you could push the archery range first if you wanted to in this situation. But yeah, just take stuff out, make units, prioritize army here. So we prioritized making our economy good early. Now, if you have to idle villagers a little bit to get army out, it's fine. Because the army is the key. You do want to keep your vill production, but yeah, army is the key. I would rather have a mangonel than a knight, so we'll just cancel the knight. If you didn't know, you can hold control to cancel stuff from the global queue here. So it's very useful. We'll just queue a knight when we can. And, you know, I like husbandry upgrades, so let's grab that since we have the resources for it. And, yeah. Basically, this is how you would set up this push. The key is constant military. If you find your siege pushes aren't working, you probably just don't really have enough military production. You just want to keep making them. This is a Persian TC, so it's taking a little bit of time to go down. But since he's weak, now's the time. Let's go in with all the knights. The TC's about to fall. Probably could have gone in even earlier. And now we just go in. We want to leave a few units back to support the mangonels. But yeah, you just go in like that. No problems. And basically, the opponent just falls apart. You could add upgrades and all that. But you should be able to make this work. So let's quit out. There are a few ways of doing this. So this was just with a few scouts to start. Just a few scouts to start. What we want to do is we want to learn how to make full scouts next. So we want to go to the save games. That is this one. There we go. So just pause, get our bearings. If we want to go against full scouts, or if we want to play full scouts, what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're getting the farms down. We actually need a little bit more on berries here, a little bit late to sending more to berries. And that will allow us to maintain map control against players, usually not against two range players, but it can be good because then we can get the siege push going right away. So we'll go for the scouts, double bit axe, horse collar. Here we go. It's really important here. We're going to send another one to berries here, which will help. Really important to get these farms down as soon as possible. There we go. No need to lose all this HP. Oh yeah, the opponent, the extreme AI pushes deer these days. It's kind of crazy. Okay, we get the stable producing right away. I actually overmade houses, which is why I don't quite have enough wood here to make my farms. If you do overmake houses, it does delay your farms, which delays your food income, which means less scouts. So you do want to prioritize villager production over scouts here. So if I can't quite afford a scout, then it's fine. You just wait on the scout. There we go. I feel like I missed sheep or something. I don't know. There we go. Just try and use the force drop off to get the villas producing. Yeah, you really don't want to idle the TC at all, but sometimes you have to. With all this walling, this map was pretty big to wall. So sometimes you don't really want to wall this big. There you go. Yeah, force dropping isn't so bad for your economy. And if you go full scouts like this, it can be very strong. Because, like, you can just swarm things. Especially on lower levels, if they don't make enough pikes, you just swarm the enemy. So now we can start producing. Once you have around 14 on food, then you can produce constant scouts and villagers. So our opening was a little bit more defensive. Not getting too much army out. But the economy is going really smoothly now. Because instead of making army, we made farms. And that'll give us a really strong food economy. So once you're starting to get a little bit close to the pop limit, just add a house. You really want to be making your houses on your walls too. So yeah, basically this will be part of a wall here. We can even add another one, honestly. Just get a farm down here. There we go. Let's just keep making scouts. And getting wheelbarrow near the end of Feudal Age is pretty good when you're playing lots of farms like this. So I could have done it last game. Just depends on the game. Go there. And so since the berries are getting low, you want to start using berry villagers to build farms around the mill, especially if your mill is in the back like this, because then you don't have to send your villagers somewhere else. It's just going to be a bit more efficient. But of course, we do have all of these straggler tree vills too that we need to sort out. So we've got lots of vills to use. So these vills, now that the stragglers are pretty much gone, we can probably just go to gold. It's about the right time to go to gold anyways. And we don't really want to send them down here because it's going to be overcrowded. So we sort of have to expand up to here anyways. This base is a little rough, honestly. But anyways, it's fine. So we just keep making units. Obviously, we would be using the units in an actual game. Another way you could wall is up here. We have a pretty big army. But obviously, if the opponent was playing range and spears, they'd be able to fight me right now. So it could be a little sketchy. But one way to protect your walling villager is to have your army near them. So you can slowly wall with one villager if you are gonna defend it with your scouts. So one thing that you can do once you have a pretty good scout number, ideally you'd be using these to just hit your opponent and stuff. But one thing that you can do if your opponent has a lot of army and you want to really take a good fight, you hit that bloodlines button here. You can do that, and then you will be able to take like any fight. Wow. Interesting how they go all over the place, even clicking in the same spot. All right, very cool. Yeah, so next up would be making the blacksmith. We get wheelbarrow around now too. It's gonna be pretty strong. Oh, I didn't realize that I had another villain here. What? Where did he come from? Coming out of nowhere. All right. So we would be getting more scouts if we want to. And ideally we do have a wall like this. So we want to get that walled. Then we don't have to worry about making a tower. So if you don't make a tower, it's easier to add TCs later. We could wall to here, sort of. It's not a bad wall. There we go. And we're thinking about going up to the castle age as soon as possible. Once your Berryville's finished, you do have to pay attention to that. Anyone trying to reprove it, the game should keep auto reseed off until Imperial Age. Yeah. It's not a good habit to have an auto reseed on. That's for sure. You want to be spending your wood intelligently. Okay, so let's go up here. So 38 plus wheel. It's not too bad. With a little bit of idle time here. And again, night spam. What do you need for night spam? 9 to 10 on gold. 15 to 17 farms. We're up a little bit later, so 20 farms is quite a lot. You'll see that we're going to be floating a little bit of food once we're in the next stage. But that's fine. Okay, we'll even send this guy here. And we're going to need a second stable. So ideally you get the second stable sort of on the front because closer to your opponent, faster you can reinforce. You want to make sure that you get your upgrades. So there he is. His army can't really do anything. Well, maybe we don't make the stable. Well, we could still make it here. Does he have fletching? Okay, well, he has fletching. So if he has fletching, we need to make it sort of here. Don't really know why the AI doesn't just attack the wall, but it's fine. Okay, so attacking the wall. This is actually good. Because now I can demonstrate, okay, it's not really a big deal because what we can do is we can just block this with a market as well. And then clean this up with Castle Age army. And then we can go and siege push after that as a counterattack. So he's almost getting in, but it's okay because he won't get in. Because what we're going to do is we're going to force drop this. And, well, we don't quite have enough. Oh, no, we do have enough for the market. Just going to make a market here. Oh, I think I misclicked it. Oh, yeah, it's misclicked. Oh, boy. Obviously, don't misclick. Sometimes you just need to make a stone wall like this as well. Sometimes you just got to get that. There we go. Don't be stingy. There we go. No problem. Actually, I would even upgrade to light cap here. Oh, it's open there. All right, well, you know, if he gets in, just retreat your vills, right? Wait until you have enough to fight this, right? Don't just send your scouts in. He's gonna go back because he knows he's about to get owned if he just chills here, right? That was supposed to be... Alright, yeah. You gotta be watching for those. It's all good. Once... My timing is with second armor. Second armor and we take this. I'm a little bit off. So look at how many spears he has. We actually can't fight that. He has too many spears, so you just back off. But guess what? I walled again behind. That's the key. Wall behind. We're gonna build up army. The advantage of mobility is that you can go off to the side. So if he's attacking your base, you can just wall it out. You can go raid. Like, you can go like this. You can go this side. Actually, the knight is sort of slowing this down. We want to have husbandry. As long as your walls are up, you're safe. And if you're worried about the enemy coming in, you'd want to make your siege at home. That's the main thing. So see how we have way too much on gold? Just go like that. Just make them build another lumber camp. He's a little bit slow at coming in, but guess what? You know why he's slow at coming in? Because I'm at his base. He's making an absolute noob mistake in sending his whole army back instead of trying to do damage to me. But, yeah, basically, you can't really go wrong with a counterattack, especially against an open opponent. Here we go. But yeah, say that the opponent was properly attacking me. I would want to have a siege workshop at home. Kind of around here would be okay. Controlling this hill is kind of important. It's hard for him to siege push the front. But yeah, if he has an army that you can't really fight, you just run from it. You don't have to fight it. With the mobility that you have from cavalry, you just run from bad engagements. And so we are going to make mangonels. We can take back map control with mangonels. Damage soaking. Yeah, I don't know. The AI is still not very good. Like, they make some very questionable decisions. If you can get good at raiding while under pressure, it's going to go a long way. Because the opponent, say that the opponent is trying to attack you and you're raiding their economy, either they don't see their economy at all, or they don't look at their army and they get splatted by your mangonels. But yeah, at this point, we've done a little bit of damage. We didn't really take much damage. We just go forward. And also, in this situation, you can sometimes just go for another mangonel push forward. So you can just get this woodcutter to go forward. See, this is one thing that you always want to be thinking. How do I get my villager from here to here safely? And that can be kind of tricky, right? If you just send them, they're going to get killed by the enemy army. But if you send them with your army, then it's fine. There we go. Obviously, you don't want them tanking the front line. Oh. So your villager can heal your stuff. Yeah, the AI moves kind of weird. Like, normal people don't move like this with their army all split up. Cavalry are gonna really take out those split up units here. Actually, good siege workshop location for the opponent on the hill. But yeah, we can get our siege workshop on the hill here. Obviously, if we can make siege a bit closer, then we can get the siege where it needs to go a little bit faster. So yeah, you can just add some auto farms. If you guys don't know how to do that, make the farm, hold shift, and press the mill like that, and it'll auto farm. Auto place the farms. It's really good. There we go. So now we can have the siege push going. Oh, I guess he killed my siege when I wasn't paying attention. That's a classic move, losing your siege when you don't pay attention. But it's fine because, well, the AI is just sort of dead. You can go and raid. One thing about raiding is that if you raid, it leaves your siege exposed. So, as I said in the video, raid with a few units, but don't send your whole army a lot of the time. You want to leave some units to protect your siege. Because if you don't protect your siege, it's just going to die to some random pikemen, right? And that can be a problem. The AI learns walls will be huge. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, protecting your siege is really important. Now now. I'm crazy house, so do that. Oh, so see, I didn't reset my rally point, and that's a problem. If you keep your rally point on gold, you end up just having way too much on gold. It's good to set it to a wood line. Oh, I killed my own knight. Anyways, so the AI would just crumble to this. Once we take this to the ladder, it's gonna be a lot more informative. So that was sort of more scouts in the feudal age. It delays your uptime to castle age, but then you can use those light cav, or you can upgrade your guys to light cav. You can fight units in feudal age. It can be a good play, but yeah, you will be up a little bit later to the castle age if you make more knights, or if you make more scouts in feudal age. But the key is that you want to have the macro down. So pretty much as soon as you click up, you want to rebalance your economy. 15 to 17 farms is usually good. 9 to 10 on gold, the rest on wood. It's going to be great. 2 stable knight spam. As Berbers, you can afford a little bit more because, well, we have cheaper knights. But yeah, that's sort of how you would do it. The main thing... Oh, I didn't even see something was attacking this. The main thing is getting those walls down before your feudal age. It's going to save you so many headaches. Just have those walls down before your feudal age. Your opponent can't do anything to you. Once we take this to the ladder, you'll see a little bit more. And, yeah. So next up, I'm just going to show you guys a little bit of micro with the mangonels. I think it's worth it to go through. So if you go to the mod page in the Age of Empires website or whatever, you can download my map, Infinite Micro. Load that up here. Doesn't really matter what you start with. We'll just allow the cheats. We'll go for infinite resources. And yeah, it should be good. Yeah, well, I mean, I say don't put the waypoint on gold, and I forgot it myself, but you can see how that can be really bad. So yeah, let's just go to Castle Age. I'm gonna make some knights here. We go 15 knights. We'll get all the upgrades. Might as well. And we'll go 2 mangonels. So this is a nice little siege push. Player 2 can go up, and he can have fully upgraded pikemen. And say that he has 25 pikemen. Oh, overshot it there. It's all good. There we go. So, maybe go in a scattered formation. This fight will come in a lot. If you're doing Night Siege, this fight will come in a lot, and I'll show you how to take this fight, or one of the ways you can take this fight. So, we've got our knights. They bait a little bit, and you get these attack rounds. 1, and then you can just right-click here. 2, and then go in. And if you can get another hit, it could be really good too. So see the AI, I mean, he sometimes goes after the mangonels. It's fine though. So you can see I lose like 1 knight and 1 mangonel, and he loses 25 pikemen. So you can basically just practice your attack round doing this. If you grab a friend, it can be a little bit better, because then they can micro the pikemen a little bit better than just sending them in. But yeah, if you just send them in, you want to get used to this. So attack round, pull back. Attack round. Oh, a little bit early. There you go. Attack round, pull back. And I don't know, the AI is kind of bugging out here, but that's the idea. You want to be able to control both army types. That's the important thing. Have 2 control groups, 1 melee, 1 ranged. And yeah, well, this time he was attacking the mangonel a little bit more. But you would be using a repair villager in this fight as well in an actual game. But just attacking, just practicing, attack round, move back. And then attack round, move back. And you need to be able to control both at the same time. So hopping between the 2, you have to just hook those connections up in your brain. This control group goes here, this control group goes here, and you shouldn't be thinking, oh, I need to press 1 to go for the knights. I need to press 3 to go for the mangonels. It should just be like, I need to move my knights, and it should be automatic. I need to move my mangonel, automatic. And so you can then move your units a little bit more fluid. This is useful for just a lot of situations, even if you have skirmishers as well. So say that you went skirm knight, maybe that's a little too many guys. Maybe we just go just a few, and maybe we have a few here. Say that you go skirm knight. This is also a valid composition. Say that he's got these, and he's probably got crossbowmen as well. Just get a bunch of stuff. Here we go. And, I mean, the knights here are just sort of extra units. They're not really that important. Let's say that we have our army here. Okay. We want to just go back. And you can sort of, like, threaten that you're going to go in. A real player would be focusing the knights. Actually, yeah, it's kind of hard to demonstrate against this, but, like, you want to be able to move the knights as well as the skirms fluidly like this. So I'm just moving the skirms. You can go in with the knights. Generally, your melee units, you just send them in at some point, and then you don't micro them. And you always want to be microing the ranged units. So what I'm doing with the skirmishers is I'm moving them, and then pressing the stop command to make them attack. Generally, you just move around the melee units until you're ready to engage. So it's like, we micro the ranged units, focus fire, or stop micro, and then the melee units just go in, you just attack, move in, or patrol in at some point, and then they just dominate. And then you just go back to microing the ranged units. But sometimes you need to pull back. Say that he has too many guys, he has reinforcements coming, you need to be able to pull back the melee units while also managing the ranged units. So that's why it's really important to use 2 control groups. One for ranged, one for melee, and you can make it feel really smooth. Like I don't have to do too much extra brain power to control both of these units at the same time. And yeah, you should be able to just hop between the 2 of them like that. And then if you wanted to get really fancy, you know, you could have a mangonel on another control group as well. That's when it gets a little bit crazy. But you know, ideally you can use 3 control groups eventually, but honestly 2 control groups will get you through most of what you need. 1 control group is really just not enough though for army. You really need to be able to jump between the 2. You want to be able to send your knights in, and then if it becomes a bad fight, just like move them back instantly while moving your ranged unit. It's going to be really useful. So yeah, that is that. I think that's basically it for the basic build. It's not really much of a build order that we did today, other than working off of the fundamental scout build, or sorry, the fundamental foundation build. It's more of feudal macro, adding farms every 60 wood, adding houses, and then for the siege push, you know, getting that siege workshop forward, supporting your villager to get it forward, and then prioritizing military production. I think if you're going to take away anything from this session, it's prioritize military production in the early castle age. Looks easy. Watching ends in total chaos when attempted. Yeah. Even top level often use 2 control groups, manual select, whatever else. Yeah, exactly. It's just because you don't want to have your guys regrouping, right? So if you have 2 mangonels and you control group them together and then you click them back, they're just going to regroup. And so you sort of want to just individually select the ones that you want to micro sometimes when in mangonel wars, for example. Whereas your melee units and your ranged units, mainline units, can just act as a blob most of the time. Siege units need to be sort of individually microed. Okay, so what we're going to do here is select some people from chat to try and play Scouts with Walls opening. You don't have to do Siege Push after it because it's kind of hard to say, oh, you have to do that. I'll do that on ladder. So this is going to be Arabia between 800 ELO players. 800, you can call them 850, 900 players. There we go. And it should be up now. All right, beautiful. Beautiful. We've got red versus yellow. Sounds good. Both players are tasked. Oh, whoops. This is in the wrong direction. Here we go. Let's go forward instead of backwards. So we've got a little bit of inefficiency here. The houses were placed a little bit too far away. Yeah, these houses are a little bit closer, which is nice. So actually, if you... Oh, we can't really see at the start. But basically, he would have had to have moved his villagers forward a few tiles. So what this tells me is he's probably playing super zoomed out, which makes it harder to be a bit accurate with the villagers there. You want to get the houses right next to where the villagers spawn, which is sort of here. And yeah, so this side is looking a little bit more efficient. had a little bit of idle villagers here as well. Ooh, villagers going all over the place. Looks like he's going to lure in the boar here. So this is Sebastian on this side. We got Potato on the other side. That's what we'll call them. So, oh, can we keep the villager alive? If she garrisons, she'll be fine. Can he save her? Can he save her? Do you know your garrison hotkey? Oh, he does. Let's go. That was a nail biter right there. That was close. All right, on this side, bringing the boar a little bit later, but this is more of sort of a standard timing, you can say. We'll see if the boar comes in before this goose is finished. I think it'll be too slow, slightly, but look at the sheep stacking. That's good. Actually, no, it'll be perfect. Don't take the sheep. Oh, let's go. Not using the boar garrison trick, but that's fine. Okay, 4 on wood. Very nice. We don't have the 4 on wood on this side, so you'll see that this side is maybe not going to be able to get those walls down. Walls would be pretty nice. You could wall in front of the gold, even to the stone, to here, to here. Just full base walls is fine, actually. It's not even a big deal here. Here we go. All right. Wait, what is this Grathrang thing coming up? What is this? What? I don't even know. All right. Let's resume the cast. I don't know why Grathrang's face was in my chat saying that I should join on Survivalist stream. I'm already here. All right. Okay. What are we looking at? House? I would love to see some walls from both of them at some point pretty soon, because yeah, you want to be walled here. Mill is a little bit late on this side too. So basically, if you get your mill late, that means that you're not taking as much berries, which means you're taking more animals here. So I think what's going to happen is Sebastian is going to run out of food under the TC, and that's going to be a problem. He's going to run out of food underneath the TC a little bit too early, and that's going to mean he's going to have tons of straggler treevilles and not enough farms to maintain scout production. And yeah, so red is going to have better scout production here because of being on berries a bit earlier. So it's very important. Nice walls here. Yeah, how would I wall this? Probably to the berries, maybe to this wood line, but honestly just to the berries, to here, to the gold, and then like this hill is a bit of a problem, but could just ignore it. Could just go even to the TC here and then down to here. That'd probably be okay. Yeah, we're gonna go out to the wood line, but it's kind of unnecessary though. Walling out to the wood line is, yeah, it blocks this path, but it's pretty expensive. So it could have been probably from here to here and then here to here. Oh, there's Grathrang. There he is. We had some invite or something. It said you're invited to the stream, but it's to my own stream. I don't really know what happened there. You misclicked a thing and it sent me a notification inviting me to my own stream. So that's kind of weird. All right. So yeah, the problem with starting the walls this late and making them this big is that the opponent can have scouts to attack. So that's yeah, the walls are probably a little bit big. I would say that both players should probably review my walling video. I have some nice resources on walling if you guys want to check them out. Here we go, walling. There we go, learn how to wall. These walls are a little bit big for this map. This is a bit of a harder map to wall though. So yeah, resource walls would have been pretty good. But yeah, one of the big issues is that we've got 1 minute of idle TC on the red side here. So as I thought that the economy was going to be better on this side, but well, idling the TC for that long is not necessarily good. Yeah. I did mention in the video that if you don't really have enough food, you can always make a few Dark Age farms as well. It's not a big deal to make like 2-3 Dark Age farms, but another big issue is only 3 on berries. Probably needed like 4 or 5 on berries here. On this side, we've got like 8 on berries. So this is what I was saying. Yellow was going to run out of food under the TC so fast. So he's taking berries later with like 8 vills. Because he ran out of food under the TC so fast. Ooh, we've got 1,000,000 vills in the queue, which means we're not going to be able to queue scouts. Oh, late barracks here. Stable, you usually want to have 2 villagers on the stable building because then it comes in a little bit faster. It's pretty nice. So walls aren't quite down, but they're close enough. Good enough, good enough. And these walls are down, kind of, but a little bit late. It's okay, though. Now, where's the stable, though? So the stable needs to come down as soon as up. I think that red is just going to be not making the stable here. It's fine. This villager's been idle for like a minute. It's tricky. Here we go. I prefer no walls here. Yeah, if the map is this big, in an actual game, I would probably go for resource walls. Maybe on this side, I would full wall. This side is a little bit better for it. But this side is kind of ugly, having the forward res. Walling to the back here would have been good. Maybe walling to the berries here, to the TC. You wall like this, and then this wood line walls like this. Then the gold is exposed, but it's fine because you can just mining camp and tower later. Who are we casting? Well, we're casting both sides. This gold is forward as well, but since there's a wood line here, it's okay. I probably, if I was going to do smaller walls, I'd wall to here, and then here, and then to the TC here. So you have it like this. And then the berry is kind of hard to really secure, but you could go like a wall here and then here. So you'd have sort of an hourglass shape. It would be like boom and boom like that. And that would be fine as well. So one thing that he could have done with all these vills is made a lumber camp down here. Instead of sending them all up here, he should have made a lumber camp here. And this is why you don't go 3 million on berries, because your berries just finish way too early, and then you have nothing to do with these villagers. So that's why specifically 3 or 4 on berries is going to be better. Like this economy just looks smoother on red side, except for the idle TC. The overall eco management was better here. Like, look, even the resources collected is way more, even with more early idle TC. So there's too much movement of villagers on this side, but idle TC is limiting potato a lot. So keeping the TC running is the more important thing on this side. On this side, it's really, I mean, the idle TC is a problem, but yeah, the villagers need to be working a little bit more. And reducing walk time is really important. So yeah, if you take your stragglers too early, then suddenly you have to send your villagers from the wood line back to the TC, which is also inefficient. So you want to keep your straggler tree vills, or your straggler trees up as long as possible, because then you will be able to just use a nearby villager to make a farm instead of sending villagers all the way from the wood line. And yeah. So, starting to make some scouts, but it's already way too late to actually do anything with the scouts. But the key is to get those walls down so that you don't die to anything. Remember, this is 800, 900 elo. Players are not going to be super solid with their aggression, so you can just pretty much always rely on your walls here. And I would say that both of these players would benefit a lot from just walling every game and then getting that idle TC as low as possible. So, don't try and play fancy aggression and stuff like that. You have to learn base management before you learn how to do any kind of aggressive play. Now, yellow's the first to aggression. But look at how easy it is to block. Once you have the walls down, you just re-wall behind. It's so easy to block. That's why I really recommend just walling first. Frees up your mental energy for, well, focusing on not idling the TC, basically. Focusing on spending your resources properly. Focusing on not having your TC rally point here the entire feudal age and having your villagers just go idle the entire time. Stuff like that. Okay, here we go. And yeah, once you're safe behind walls, it's not an issue at all. Now, both players are probably going to be going up for knights, but yeah, look. Our Lithuanian player, better with the efficiency. Or, well, I mean, they're both Lithuanians. What am I saying? Our red player here is a bit better with the efficiency. Even though there's idle TC, just the resources collected is more. And that's pretty important when you're trying to go to the castle age here. Big problem is these have been standing here forever. So one thing is that attacking the walls will give a little bit more, you need to think a little bit more about when the opponent is attacking walls and make sure that you get the walls down. Weird barracks position, honestly. I don't really know why a barracks was produced here. Very strange. But yeah, you can gain a 5-vil lead over several minutes with consistent vil production, or gain a 5-vil lead in 5 seconds with a fancy aggression. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. But if you learn to wall, never take any damage, and then you also don't idle your TC against, at this elo, like imagine Red just full walled and didn't idle the TC. Now suddenly, they're like 6 vils more than what they have right now. Can you imagine 6 additional vils? Then we're up 10 villagers without having to do anything. We don't have to do anything. Just focus on your own gameplay. You're up 10 vils? That's crazy. You just defend with ranged units and walls. And and then there's no problem, right? Second stable coming down. We got horse collar, right? I think horse collar on this side. Yeah, horse collar's in. Do we get horse collar on this? Yeah, we got horse collar as well. Good. So yellow's gonna go for more committing to military here, which is not really the play against a fully walled opponent here, especially if you only have 4 scouts. Getting forging here is not really worth it. You want to get that on the way up. So he's working towards up, but then he makes forging, which slows down the uptime, which is not necessarily great. So these skirmishers are enough to keep these units back. Even just doing chip damage, just like 1 damage here and there is worth it to have these. Focusing down the spears is always nice, potentially, if that can happen. But yeah, red is going to be up for the knights, and that's going to be pretty strong here. Eco balance for red. Yeah, eco balance needs to be 15 on farms. A little bit less gold here. Like, look, they're going to run out of gold pretty quickly. Oh, forgot bloodlines as well. So you want to have 9 to 10 on gold. With gold mining, I think we forgot gold mining upgrade. Yeah, forgot gold mining upgrade. Classic. It's hard to remember everything. But yeah, gold mining upgrade on the way up is always good. Pretty nice walls. Just make another. Yeah, the hills make it so that we can't go for TC. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Just a lumber camp. Because red is about to take map control, remember. Red is about to have knights. Take map control with the knights. Red can go for a TC here. Can go for a TC here. TC here is great because you take the deer first and then go for the gold. It's really nice. TC here is kind of, yeah, not the greatest. But yeah, the knights are going to come. Second, oh, the stone walls. Okay. Oh, there's still a palisade, and she wants to go and go there. Oh, all these villas are trying to go out and build this palisade wall. Uh-oh. TC's coming down. Probably needs to make a gate. Oh, there is a gate. Nice. Needs to delete a wall in the gate. Second TC worth it now? Not really. I mean, it's okay, but I would place it in a better spot or just go for the siege push, right? Can you imagine a siege workshop coming up right now here? It's going to be a disaster for yellow. Against knights, you kind of don't really like mangonels as much. You like rams a little bit more. But yeah, red is trapped. Red is trapped. We need to wake up and delete the palisade. Hard to remember though. But it's all good. The only problem is that 6-minute idle TC is kind of a little bit too much here. See, I really recommend learning 1 TC plays on lower elos. Because the more TCs you add, the more complicated the games get. And that's not really necessary. You should be able to win the game with 1 TC aggression at this elo every time. So I think just working on those skills first is important. And that's why booming is part 4 in this series. So next week we'll work on booming a bit. But you want to be able to do what we've done in part 1, 2, and 3 first. Booming is sort of later. Lithuanians get a redemption? Yeah, Lithuanians could go redemption monks. Yeah, that is true. You could go siege. Ideally, you go siege workshop, if the opponent's making cavalry, you can make a ram, maybe. More knights, and you can make forward monks. Monks would be really good. Lithuanians, their monasteries work a bit faster, so you can make more monks. So you go monk knight, rams to hit the buildings, and then suddenly you snowball. So this is where the military is really important. So if red was constantly producing military here, all of these resources were in knights. How many knights extra is that? That's an additional 8 knights. We could have a ton more knights hitting these walls. And, well, as I was saying earlier, I mean, the whole point of the session was to learn how to siege push, right? So imagine we have mangonel here. 1 mangonel or like a ram. We would get through, and then yellow is dead. So the only reason this game isn't ended because there's no siege coming in. And so yeah, that's why I demonstrated siege. Oh yes, we're gonna be bringing the vills forward, it looks like. Okay, it's just a bit slow, but actually they're gonna come forward here. Here we go. Let's get those vills forward. See, red is focusing a little bit too much on microing these units to try and get in. They'll never get in. Basically, these units should just be chilling here. Just, I don't know, hitting the stable or something. They're getting hit by this thing. What's going on here? What's red doing? I'm not sure. Not really sure. Okay, well, I mean, we're in, but, like, unit production is just so key, right? Like, just keep unit production, get in, and then you can win. But if you don't produce units, then it's not going to be enough. Here we go. So, yeah, the biggest issue here is just not making anything. Iron casting, yeah, but, like, can I interest you in 10 more knights? That's a little bit better than iron casting. There's the vills. Let's see the siege. Let's see the siege. So, I think one reason why we're not making units is probably there's no select all stable hotkey learned. So, learning your select all stable hotkey is very important. Now, we're gonna go for pikemen, but actually, if we just spam knights here, that's what it all comes down to on these lower levels. Just spam knights. And don't stop spamming knights. If you stop spamming knights, you're doing it wrong. But if you just keep spamming knights, you will win. Yeah, let's look at the stable efficiency. It's 25%. So we could have 4 times as many knights. Or 3 times as many knights. Okay. Will we make a mangonel? I think rams are better here, especially if you're going to pair them with pikes, but really just needed to be full knights, like just spend the resources, right? Both players just need to spend their resources. And this is why I say don't overcomplicate things with the second TC, because more economy only matters if you're actually spending your resources that are coming in. If you make more economy but you can't spend it, what's the point? We might as well just have less economy but be able to spend it. Oh no, there's a hole! Will yellow realize it? Will red realize it? Will anyone realize it? No? I guess no one will realize it. Oh, no, yellow sees it. All right, but there is a TC here to protect. Okay, 2 spears is not really enough to kill three knights. What are the upgrades on these things? Oh, 2 upgrades. Oh, man. Disaster. Where's the siege? We got all the production buildings in the world. Just need to make some units. This is why Britons have a horrible boom. You need farms for TCs, but then you have no good food units. Well, no, it's fine. I think Britain's boom is fine. Okay. Getting the vills back to work. Getting these vills back on gold. Oh, there we go. All right. Problem solved. Oh, and the knight production has gone up by a lot here. They actually have some knights, but villagers need to get back to work. So the thing is, red is commanding the army too much. Like, just moving the army way too much. Needs to focus on the eco management. It's so important. Eco management is really the king in this game. Even match, though. Like, really even. If we look at the villager count, it's neck and neck. Really want both of them to make some monks? Well, yellow has some monks. Red, no monks, but honestly, 16 knights is pretty good. Okay, we're gonna go into Imperial Age. Imperial Age, unfortunately, it still isn't gonna help to get through the base. What helps to get through the base is having some siege, like having some rams. Mangonel can work against non-redemption monks. Honestly, like, this army can kill this army very easily. Yellow's making a big mistake if he thinks that going out right now is a good idea. But Red is going to deal with this barracks instead of killing this army, so that is a bit of a misplay, you can say. We can't control our stables to make knights. How good is our monk micro gonna be? Yeah. There we go. Watching games like this really hammers home how AoE 2 is just a game of execution up to a pretty high level. Well, yeah, exactly. Both players could win easily by just making more units and attacking. Like, that's all it comes down to. Make units and attack. And then the game is won. But, I think players tend to focus on the wrong things. Like, they see high-level players moving their army lots and stuff, and then they forget about the fundamentals. So, yeah, it's really knight spam. Good conversion here. And pikemen are waiting on the hill. Will we realize this, though? The skirmishers will eventually whittle that guy down, but not before all of the villagers are taken down. Oh, they were clicked on the blacksmith. Sounds good. What's happening here? Oh, pikemen doing the job. These guys are coming in. Imp is going to be in. And what's our imp timing? Oh, we got 5 monks in the queue. Whoa. Wait, do we have a second monastery? Oh, no. They just canceled. Okay, sounds good. Pikes are doing the job. Okay, that's all stone. Actually, it is. He sort of missed the tile here. It's not even walled properly. So, actually, these knights might get in. Where's the +4 armor? Let's cancel some vills and get +4 armor and then go in, and then the game is over. Then the game is over. All right, we're in. Go in. We're in. We are in. Kind of. If we pay attention. There we go. Go in. No, don't attack the stone wall. No, you don't need to kill the stone wall. Oh, we're going light cav upgrade. This is where, see, the game is too complex. Too complex in the Imperial Age. That's the problem. Like, we need to finish the game earlier and then really learn the early game. Because every game that you play is going to have an earlier stage of the game. Not every game is going to be imp. So getting good at the early stages of the game is always a good way to improve. But at this stage, we're like making random light cav upgrade without getting any Imperial. Like, what was the point of going Imperial Age, right? We have zero upgrades for Imperial Age. When you get to the next stage, you always want to be thinking, okay, what kind of tech can I get? Because Imperial Age is basically just like a fancy upgrade for your units. It's like a pre-upgrade. It doesn't actually do anything on its own. What it does is it unlocks units and techs in the next age. That's what it does. So once you're up, you need to think about, okay, what am I actually going to buy in this next age? Why did I even go imp? Did I go imp for trebs? Did I go imp for like armor on the knights? Did I go imp for cavalier? Like, what was the reason to go imp? Was it to make my buildings look cooler? I don't think so. So we're gonna be making mangonels. Wait, where are these being produced? Why are we making mangonels in the top corner? I'm so confused. We're gonna make onager now. Yellow is cooked though. Yellow is completely done. The eco mismanagement is gonna be too great here. So 3,000 food in the bank, but no wood. The only way that yellow can do this is probably to make a bunch of halbs. And then red would have to misplay by not making anything else other than cavalry. But I'm not sure that that's going to happen. Oh, yeah. There goes the vills. I think that yellow is not long for this world here. Not long for this world. We're making a university up here. Yeah, making lots. Oh, okay. Lumber camp and a lumber camp on the stone and the mining camp on the wood. Uh-oh. That's backwards. You can see the thought process, but it was backwards. That's so funny. All right. No problem. Market and monastery. The M&M. Nice. And where are those onagers at? Unfortunately, the onagers were produced to kill this barracks in the back corner. There we go. There's the raids. I would love to see +4 armor, but yellow is cooked. Absolutely cooked. I want these onagers to come down and cut this wood. That's what I want to see. That would be... You will never see that on high level. Onagers coming to cut the wood to unlock these villagers so the knights can go in. That would be best strat here. Let's see it happen. Let's see if these onagers will do that. That would be amazing. Yellow's up, but what is he getting? He's making monks? And he's not making villagers? And he's got 2 army. Now 1. He's going to go for a castle drop. Nope, he's going to just wall this. Okay, okay. Could just hit the vills instead. Yeah, but it would be much cooler to just kill the trees. Knights and imp is painful. Honestly, knights are fine. What's painful is not having the final armor on them. Knights with final armor is almost as good as Cavalier with final armor. That armor is like the main thing. Cavalier only get +20 HP and +2 attack. That's all they get over knights. It's not that big of an upgrade. First 50 to 100 games is the learning curve. Yeah, exactly. You want to be... This is why I say just 1 TC play. 1 TC play for a while. Get good at that. Make sure that you're not idling the TC in... Pretty much if you can get sub 30 second idle TC in Feudal Age and not take any damage from your opponent, you're going to be so far ahead going to Castle Age. You just make knights and you make a forward siege workshop and you just win. Like, you should be able to just win games like that. So the earlier build in part 1 was the foundation, where you get your walls down, you try and get to Castle Age, you try to knight spam. That works up to a certain point. That would work here even. The siege push is added in after you've got that down. Now these players are still 800 elo, maybe they don't quite have it down yet, you can see. But that's the idea, is you learn to play pure knight spam. Basically eco management in the first 2 ages, and then knight spam in Castle Age. Once that stops working, then you need to be able to add a siege push to actually get in. That's the idea. So this is like the intermediate level, where you need to add the siege workshop earlier Castle Age and then get in. So we're going to be seeing chemistry here. Once that castle's down, then I would expect to see some trebs. Oh. Onagers are hard to use. That is a hard to use unit. Relics do a Lithuanian attack bonus. Well, yeah, exactly. But I think Civ bonuses and stuff like that aren't really that important here. The Civ bonuses are quite small compared to just not idling the TC. If you're up 10 villagers compared to your opponent, that's better than any Civ bonus in the game. Except for 2 and 2 TCs, because that's basically what that is. Oh, let's see it. Let's see it. Hit the trees. Hit the trees. Come on, hit the trees. No, don't hit the TC. Hit the trees. Hit the trees. It will be cool. There's Cavalier. All right. Well, the TC is going to go down. Oh, wait a sec, but Redemption Monks. His monks are having a hard time figuring out the path to go to get the onagers, though, unfortunately. Oh, will we see a conversion? Will we see a conversion? Switch it. Switch it. Switch it. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, it's so close. Ah, he's gonna get a Cavalier. All right, well, fair enough. Fair enough. That would have been so good, converting the onager and then just taking out all of the onagers. That's the best feeling. You convert an onager and it just kills all the other onagers. I've nuked my own range with mangonels before. Yeah. Well, you can't kill if you target a town center. It goes to the center of the building, so you don't hit your units on the outside if you target a town center. But other buildings, it hits the side kind of, so it hits the it hits the units that are attacking that side. So TCs are a little bit special like that. Same with farms. Farms, when you target the farm, the projectile goes to the center instead of to the side. Just some little high-level stuff here. Okay, yellow has 0 army. The only thing that's making this game continue is that red just doesn't have proper siege to push buildings. So it just shows Oh, I mean attack round. Okay, I see. Yeah, yeah. So it just shows that players need to know how to finish the game. And siege is the way, or even just sending the units in, right? Get your trebs to kill stuff. Just sending the units in is always good. Just raid under the TC here. You know, push the castle with the treb, stuff like that. But I think red is kind of respecting the castle a little bit too much here. That's for sure. Another castle on the hill, but, you know, focusing on what needs to be done is what you learn as you gain experience. But yeah, what needs to be done right now, trebs, send the units in, and win the game. That's all that needs to be done. And actually, yellow probably should realize it's over based on the score as well, so you should probably just resign. But if you're against a player who's not resigning, you need to siege, you need to raid. Make sure that they just have nothing. Like, yellow has hope because he has these villagers here. If these villagers were gone, he would surely resign. And I mean, he does have a pretty big resource bank, right? So yellow can't be 800. No, this feels like 800. Both players feel like 800, but red gained some early advantages and was able to snowball them. No ballistics, this pikeman. He's from the Matrix. Is he gonna... Oh! I think he caused the onager to do a little bit of self-damage. Oh! The pikeman causing the friendly fire on the trebuchet. Trebuchet down. Let's go. What are these guys doing? They're just doing some weird regrouping. Here we go. Nice. Well, yellow is probably gonna GG very shortly. But one way to force the GG, again, is just to raid. Just send the units to the back. Gotta send the units to the back. When you're this far ahead, you just gotta go. You gotta know that you gotta go. There we go. Oh, let's see an attack round. Misclicked attack round here, but hey, whatever. Oh, it gets the lady. See, Potato was just thinking like 20 frames ahead there. The second attack round. It was not the first attack round on the pikes. It was the second attack round on the villager that they were going for. All right. Well, yellow buddy. I think it's time to call it. I think it's time to call it. 99% of the games you don't need onagers, you need just trebs. Yeah. If you're making onagers, it's because you need to deal with skirmishers, arbalister, like you're dealing with units. They might be called siege units, but they're really better for going against like regular units, not buildings. Like they can kill buildings, but yeah. GG is called. All right, nice. So we could tell that Red's gameplay was a little bit smoother throughout the game. Other than the early idle TC, the efficiency was a bit better with the villagers. A little bit more questionable decisions on Yellow's part, like getting forging in Feudal Age. Yeah. Whoa, what did we do here? Was that like Monk Micro or something? Crazy. A little bit of a spike here. But yeah, lower APM just probably means not really using enough hotkeys. So learning the select all, whatever production hotkeys especially are really useful. There we go. But yeah, GG's. Respect to the players. Thanks for coming out and showcasing at least a little bit of what we were working on here. It's nice to see. Thank you. I'm shaking. Dude, yeah, it was a good game. Yeah, you can watch the VOD later, see how the cast went. And yeah, it's nice to see the even match. Even matches are always good to take a look at. All right, so I think what I'm going to do next is take it to the ladder. And we'll favorite Arabia here. Oh, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be the same thing. Basically the same thing. It's no problem. All right, so we're going to demonstrate the scouts into siege build here. We got Vikings. Not a problem. So scouts in Feudal Age, and then we're going to follow it up with a siege push in the Castle Age. Now, Dravidians, they have cheaper siege, so it can be a little sketchy, but fine. You can't really go wrong. And, well, Vikings, they might not have the best knights, but they have the best economy for spamming knights. So that's sometimes all you need, right? Yeah, we're going to do that. Let's just scout around a little bit here. This isn't Arabia, this is Lowland, but it should work just as well. So we'll focus on getting the walls down before Feudal Age and making as many scouts as we can with the economy that we have. I'm gonna go for that wood line in the back there. First off, we're just trying to scout where the resources are and also where I want to wall. Both of those things. You aren't just looking for your resources, you're also looking for how you want to wall. It's very important. Now, we do have deer in the back here, so I will probably want to grab a couple of those. It's not necessary on lower levels, but it does allow you to get more scouts in. You can think of it as every deer is sort of like a bit more than one scout that you can add. It's nice having extra scouts when you're making scouts. There we go. Go for that one. Just take it. Go for the next one. So, how do we like to wall this? Let's just grab that vision. I think probably here to here. I don't think we need to go out to there, although we could go to here and then here. That could also work. It's really hard to push against the edge of the map on current patch because they did update how deer work. So if it's up against the edge of the map, I'm not even entirely sure that you can push them because you just can't really click properly here. Maybe if I can get them in there. Yeah, it's a lot harder though. A lot harder to push deer on current patch when it's up against the edge of the map. Now we almost forgot the house here. Don't forget your house. Make sure to get stuff here. I spent so much time thinking about this deer, not enough time about thinking about what I was doing. That's what ends up happening if you try and push deer, is you end up spending too much time thinking about the deer and not thinking about the things that you should be thinking about. So, the build is gonna go up on 20 or 20 villagers. That is what I'm gonna do here. We definitely want to get scouting, or sorry, we definitely want to get walling. We want to be walled before Feudal Age, so I'm thinking we can wall that off, and we can wall this off. That should be all good. And let's go scout the opponent. We can wall the front as well. Down to here. And let's bring in that other boar with the next vill. Actually, nah. Oh, I accidentally had a vill take that sheep. That's kind of bad. I actually feel like I'm missing 2 sheep. Am I missing 2 sheep? I feel like I'm missing 2 sheep somewhere. I think what I do is just this. I can go to there. I think it'll be fine. Who's idle? This feels idle. So let's bring that in. We're gonna go up right after this one. Ideally, if you have the res. I sort of took way too much wood here, actually. You really don't want to be taking any straggler, and I took quite a lot of straggler. Looks like. Fine. Oh, so I can't go up. So what that means is I just need to make another vill. That happens. Sometimes you just wall a little bit too much and you just can't really get up to the next stage, but you should always be able to get up here. Now he's going for militia. So what we can do against militia is just sort of go like this, and then they're sort of like not very good when they take a bunch of damage. Here we go. And see how we're walled. So if I had actually walled before feudal, like I was supposed to, then they wouldn't have even touched my villagers at all. But it's fine. So we want to have 7 on the wood line on the way up. This was pretty sloppy, by the way. 7 on the wood line on the way up is pretty key. 4 on berries. And yeah, honestly, he can't really do much more than just tap my villagers a little bit, because all my walls are up. So it's no problem. Here we go. He's walled as well, though, as expected. He is walled, but we can maintain map control with scouts still. I think we're just gonna hunt this. I'm not gonna push them, so I might as well just hunt them. Might as well send a few more as well. Should we just send 2? So we're gonna get the stable on the front here. It's a good spot for it. And we would like to get our horse collar upgrades so that we can have pretty good efficiency for spamming knights, so we don't have to spend all of our wood on farms later. Hey, thanks, Xerox. Oh, his stuff is there. I bet I also had far sheep that I didn't see. That's probably what happened. Now, Vikings, they're very good at farming, so you like to spam farms with them. Here we go. We'll get that shipment of deer in pretty soon. We need to send a villager to deal with the militia real quick. So yeah, we weren't really able to get so many scouts in. Actually, I probably can't even afford that. I don't want to idle my TC at all. The scouts are not the important part of this. The important part is walling and also just macroing in feudal age properly. There we go. Just go like that. Let's see if we can pick something off. So, I think he's going range, so we probably just need our own range, right? This is overchop, so you gotta watch for those overchops, right? I think I'm gonna add a range. Oh, they just didn't find it. All right. We're gonna force some walls. Oh, he's too good. So remember, you don't really want to commit here. You just want to go in and then in and out, in and out, in and out. You just harass like. See, that's just so annoying. And imagine I had 4 scouts, then it's like it's just super done. I could have made a range, but we'll just stick to the scouts and. Oh, that bill's weak, so we go for that bill here. There we go. So see how we didn't lose that much HP. Oh, that was kind of bad though. I guess he didn't expect the Viking scouts though, right? So we just get to gold. Forced him to make a spear. That's pretty nice, right? He's up to castle age though. Yeah, it was FC by him. Here we go. No problem, though. FC into what, right? FC into monks. Oh, that's a weak vill. No. Okay, my guys just randomly... Did you guys see that? I clicked here and they went that way. That was really weird. I will take that, though. Is that a TC down here? Yeah, he's got a TC. It's all good. I'll be up here in a sec. Whoop! Weird pathing into the pikes. Oh my god. They just wanted to go the wrong way. Yeah, pathing is kind of bad. Also, if you forget your blacksmith, that can cause some problems. So we'll just get a market. Oops. Can't go up without 2 prereqs. That's a classic play. when you're trying to go scouts. We just keep forcing him to, like, garrison his whole economy here. I know he has that Weakville. He doesn't have a different Weakville, but, you know, we did some damage, right? And I think we took a pike hit there. It's all good. All right. So the only problem is that his militia are still here, and he's gonna see the stable, right? I need to expand this out a little bit. There we go. Gonna get gold mining upgrade. We can't fit very many vills around this gold, so you know, you gotta do what you can. Repairing is worse than just making another palisade here, so we're just gonna make another palisade. And we need to get a blacksmith because we need to upgrade our knights. So that's what we're gonna do here. We're going to go for the blacksmith. We got gold mining upgrade on the way up. We got 2 stables. Normally you'd be making bloodlines, but Viking knights are not known to be very good. But that's all good. A knight is a knight, right? And we're actually gonna try and get this fill forward because I don't think he has very much. He's gonna have monks. Actually, since he's gonna have monks, let's throw in a few more scouts. Scout this. Can't go wrong, right? Now it's a little sketchy to send this vill out because he can just pretty easily have monks out on the field. Yeah, he's probably going for that, right? Oh, yep. So this is what happens. This is what happens, right? Yeah, I mean, classic, right? Unfortunately, monks are OP, so he might get it. No, he didn't get it. That's good. There we go. See, sometimes you just make those extra units. Okay, so we see a stable coming down instantly. So I think I'm gonna make a monastery first. And we'll get these knights here. I'm gonna send this just one knight to clean these up. And so we're running low on gold here. I'm gonna need to let him in. There we go. That is all good. Oh, I never even got the upgrades. Whoops. Probably would have been good. We can take that. Can't take him on the hill, though. Come on. Oh. Oh, we can't really go in now. These guys can do it. Nice. Here we go. All right, so. Oh, what a bad time to be housed. I'm actually going to cancel the bills. As I said, it's all about military here. It's not. Just gets an insta. He loses the monk, though. We can keep him off of this gold. It's gonna be really good. I want to protect my. I need to protect my stuff here, though. Okay. I'm just gonna convert a bill. It's fine. Turned him into gold miner so he would benefit from handcart. He's piking me. Okay, he just gets another one. Okay, we have lots of idols. See, we're floating so much res. So we need to be spending that. It's really important. go. We're taking out quite a lot. This game's getting crazy. I don't even know what's being converted right now. Oh, he, okay. I think we're gonna need some Scorps, because, well, as you guys can see, he is going crazy here. Scorp's doing the job. Really want to lead them into this little choke point, right? There we go. All right, big problem. So many vills doing nothing because the macros failed. All right. Now you follow it up with the juiciest castle drop. The juiciest castle drop you ever seen. Oh no! Run away! Run away! It's all good. The further away he gets from his TC, the easier it is to take him out. Use no conversions. He gets one. Juicy castle drop. I think he's charged. Oh, it's going crazy here. Here we go. GG. Beautiful. See, Castle Age economy doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You make the knights, you make the siege. In this case, we went for a monastery first because we saw the stable. It was fine, and we can heal stuff. You get the siege out, and then you follow it up with that juicy castle drop. What can he do? All he can do is die. So yeah, that's how it goes. I hope you all learn how to play scouts into knights into siege push, because it's very good, as you can see, even on this level. I wasn't the fastest up time for scouts. It wasn't the most scouts that you can make. It wasn't the most damage you can get with the scouts. But it set up that Castle Age knight push very nicely. Can you explain what you were saying about converting Vil to gold miner benefit from handcart? Yeah, so basically when you convert a unit, it maintains the upgrades of that unit. So he had a villager, I converted the villager. It maintains, like, if he didn't have handcart or wheelbarrow, that villager would have no handcart. But when you change a villager to a different task, it actually just gets replaced with a different unit. So now it becomes your unit, which benefits from your ecotechs, aka handcart. So by turning him into a gold miner, it actually made him go faster in that situation. It's pretty niche knowledge, though. Like, you don't really need to know that, but yeah. Now you do. All right, sweet. That's the end of the workshop anyways.